football players that suddenly disappeared. Back in 2013, Manchester United fans were desperate for a new hero as the club was struggling right after Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And that's when a skinny teenager named Adnan Januzaj burst onto the scene. He was just 18 years old and barely anyone outside of hardcore football circles had heard of him, although he'd been quietly impressing coaches in the reserves. So when Januzaj made his first Premier League start against Sunderland, he scored both goals in a comeback win, and suddenly everyone was talking about him as the next big superstar for United. But what happened next is honestly wild. You see, Januzaj's rise was so quick that there was actually a debate about which country he'd play for, since he could choose between Belgium, Albania, Kosovo, Turkey, and even England if he waited long enough. And while all these national teams were fighting for him, Manchester United fans were just excited to finally have a young player who looked like he could carry the team back to glory. And as time progressed, Januzaj kept getting more chances and even won the club's Reserve Player of the Year award. So it really seemed like he was destined to become a legend. But things didn't go as smoothly as everyone expected. The thing is, after that first incredible season, Manchester United changed managers again and brought in Louis van Gaal, and Januzaj just couldn't fit into the new system. So he was sent on loan to Borussia Dortmund, but barely played there. And then he tried again at Sunderland, although that season ended with them getting relegated and his old manager, David Moyes, even called him out for not working hard enough. Meanwhile, people started wondering if Januzaj's attitude and training habits were holding him back, because coaches kept saying he needed to stop blaming others and take responsibility for his career. But what happened after he left England is honestly surprising. As it turns out, Januzaj moved to Spain and joined Real Sociedad, and for a while, he actually showed flashes of the old magic, scoring some great goals and even getting back into the Belgium national team for the World Cup, where he scored against England. However, injuries just kept coming back and he missed a lot of games, so he never really became the star everyone thought he would be. And after 5 years in Spain, he moved to Sevilla, but barely played before being loaned out to Turkey and then to Las Palmas. But the way things ended for Januzaj is honestly kind of sad for fans who remember his debut. What I mean is that now, even though Januzaj is only 29 and should be in his prime, he's playing for mid-table teams and mostly coming off the bench. So he's gone from being the future of Manchester United to a journeyman who's had 7 different clubs and is mostly remembered for what could have been instead of what actually happened. But I'm posting another football story like this one tomorrow. Follow if you want the algorithm to show it to you.